Did you know that 80% of your brain's input comes from your visual and vestibular system? When those systems are weak, your brain feels unsafe, and when the brain feels unsafe, it shuts down everything. No focus, no energy, your posture gets worse, and even your emotions are hard to regulate. And this isn't about balance or eyesight, it's about the foundation of brain health itself. If your eyes and your inner ear aren't communicating clearly, your brain spends so much extra time trying to correct the signals, and that constant micro stress keeps your nervous system on high alert, draining your energy, tightening your muscles, and lowering your resilience over time. But when you train these systems correctly, your brain feels safe again. Your movement improves, your energy increases, and your body finally relaxes. In this video, we'll learn why the visual and vestibular systems are so vital for your brain health, your body, your longevity, and I show you how you can integrate visual and vestibular exercise into your regular workout routines. Welcome, I'm Heike Fallon, certified personal performance coach, neurosports therapist, and creator of the NeuroHP method. And for 3 decades or longer, whatever, I've helped leaders, professionals, and athletes build lasting health and performance by working with the brain first, not the muscles. They're important too, but at the end of the day, the body moves based on what your brain perceives. And if the brain perceives a threat and perception is off, your performance is off. So this is a brain-based approach to longevity, and your eyes and your inner ear sit right at the center. And today we'll explore these systems and why they matter and what happens when you don't train them. And I'll share how you integrate them. So let's check that out. First, let's talk a little bit about these systems. So your visual system is not just your eyes. It's actually a massive amount of brain networks that process movements, distance, orientation. There's a lot happening. Your eyes are actually sensors. And the cool part is they have muscles and they can be trained. And over half of your brain is devoted to interpreting what we see. Your vestibular system sits deep inside of the inner ear. It's like this tiny, and it tells your brain how your head is moving in space, if you're up, if you're down, if you're accelerating, if you're stopping. So together these systems create a spatial map. They tell your brain where you are and how fast are you moving and whether the world around you is stable or not. And if these systems don't work well together, everything downstream, like your posture, your muscle tone, your motions, everything has to compensate. And when the brain's map of space is kind of distorted, it creates that protective output. Again, it could be pain, tension, anxiety. All these things are showing up in order to actually try to figure out how to keep us safe. So when your eyes and your inner ears send mixed messages, the brain doesn't get good data and it feels unsafe. And unsafe brains don't care about performance, they care about survival. So you can't do both, right? If you want to perform, you have to have a brain that's not in survival mode. And because in survival mode, your muscles are tight, you have less mobility, your energy is drained. You can stretch as much as you want, but you're not getting more mobility, and nothing will really change there. So that's why this topic isn't just about balance, it's about how the brain interprets the world. So think about, for example, motion sickness. That's a perfect example of a mismatch. Your eyes say basically, I'm not moving. Your inner ear says, yes, you are. And the brain kind of gets in a panic mode. And then you feel nauseous. And that's because you're in a survival mode. Again, most people experience it more as constant muscle tension or pain or fatigue, mental fog. So you might have to work on your vestibular system even though you're not feeling dizzy or nauseous. So very important to know. So these are all signs that your brain's sensory systems aren't integrating very well. And here's a really fascinating part. Research shows that poor visual and vestibular integration is actually linked also to chronic stress, lower heart rate variability, and even reduce cognitive function with aging. In other words, if your brain is basically wasting a lot of energy trying to stabilize your eyes or your balance, and it's taking a lot of energy away from your memory, your focus, and your healing. Now let's get a little deeper into this. So again, it's your visual system, your vestibular system important, but also your proprioceptive system. They're constantly talking to each other, and your visual cortex, for example, tracks objects and stabilizes gaze. Your vestibular nuclei sits in the brainstem, measures your head movement and acceleration. Your cerebellum back here integrates all and predicts movement and maintaining posture. And when these systems align, you move efficiently and flow, and you can think more clearly. When they don't, I told you all of these different things, but as key is your sympathetic system increases, your fight and flight response, and even a small little error, like a reduced eye muscle control or your head not being fully stable can have an impact on your stress level and your longevity. But you can refine this input by training these systems. Better input means better brain, means better life. And when you think of what you do throughout the day, we spend hours in front of screens, right? Your eyes are completely fixed, so you're not moving your eyes enough, and that kind of not using those muscles enough anymore. You might be sitting slouched at a desk or the couch and with your head tilted forward. That also impacts your vestibular system, and that might also tighten, your muscles in the posterior area. And, you look at your phone in bed, now that also, again, the light might overstimulate your visual cortex, and that can impact your circadian rhythm, which is your sleep-wake cycle, and it can absolutely impact your sleep, and you wake up exhausted. So all these habits slowly desensitized all of these systems, and that's why we need to retrain them. That's why it's so important. So these systems can be retrained at any age, and your brain loves novelty and movement, and that's why it's so important to also bring those into your workout routines. So let me share 10 ways you can actually integrate very fantastic different vision vestibular activation into your regular exercise workouts. So for example, if you're doing lunges, right? So I can do forward lunges and side lunges. I'm going to do just those two. All you do is now, so you've been maybe doing them already, right? You're going to put your thumb out in front, look at it, and as you step forward, you keep your eyes on the thumb. And now as you go to the side, you keep your eyes right at eye level in front of you. Bam, you got some vestibular ocular reflex cancellation put into your lunges. Next one is if you're doing deadlifts, for example, so bending down, you want to have your eyes forward, and as you go down, you're going to first move your eyes down to the ground. You're going to go down. Then as you're down there, you're going to shift your eyes up as you're rising up. Down, going down, up as you come up. Okay? So that's how you can put it in there if you do deadlifts. No worries. If you don't do deadlifts, don't worry about it. Next exercise is rowing, right? You pulling back. Let's say you do both arms and you keep your eyes on a focal point. As you pull back, you're going to rotate your head and back. Rotate your head and forward. Rotate, forward. Rotate, keep your eyes on a steady point as you pull. Now, you can have, again, with a band or machine, whatever way you do it, you can add that to it. Helps also about coordinating that. If you're walking, if you exercising, walking, do a little peripheral awareness exercise, meaning you're just walking and you're paying attention your surroundings. So see what you see on the side. It's great when you're walking. Obviously, if I walk forward right now, I'll run into my camera, but if you're walking, just kind of pay attention with your eyes forward, but you pay attention what's on the left, on the right, in front of you, down, as well as up. So pay attention and see what comes past it. Really great way to integrate in any kind of walking on a treadmill outdoors, and it's actually really fun. You can also do peripheral vision in an overhead press. So if, let's say, you're on an incline bench and you're doing chest presses, so, you know, even in the gym, like, see, while you're doing that, keep your eyes focused up high and just pay attention on, you know, maybe people working out next to you, or, you know, things are moving there. So pay attention to what's going around in the vicinity. Again, don't forget up and down as well, not just side to side. Then squats, right? We can do squats and just use a gaze stabilization here. So you can just find a focal point and keep your eyes on the focal point. And as you see maybe a little bit, my eyes, as I stay on the point, actually go tracking up and down here. So you can do that, or again, like we did the lunges, you can hold an object or a thumb in front and go with it. Two different variations, right? Squats can also be done with head movement. They can also be more challenging with tilting your head this way, right? So lots of variations there. Next exercise, for example, if you have a medicine ball and you're doing rotational movement, or you use a white weight plate doing rotational movement, right? What you can do is you can move side to side, move your head with it. You can also keep your head steady as you rotate. And you can also integrate your eyes. So you can move your eyes first to the side and rotate. To the side and rotate. Side, rotate, side, rotate. Switch, switch. So always eyes go first before you rotate. Plank, for example. You can go in the plank position. I'm not going to show right now, but plank position. And again, have a focal point on the ground, and you're doing head movements side to side, up and down, while you're in the plank. So really good way to do it. Now, you can also do, if you do box jumps, or just, you know, hopping, or simple twisting, or side to side, you can also integrate having the eyes on different points. So you can, let's say if I'm jumping to the side, right? I can have my eyes over here, gonna jump, then I'm gonna find a different focal point up there, jump. So switch where your eyes are looking as you're jumping, right? And that really challenge your system a little bit more by looking with your eyes at a specific spot, and then you have to stabilize your jumping. Again, can be also done with box jumps. And the last one I want to share right now, because a lot of people do the farmer's walk, which is the one where you're holding weights and you're walking. Great way to integrate different ways of how you hold your head and where your eyes are going. You can, for example, turn your head, keep your eyes forward as you're walking, and do a few steps and then switch. Don't forget, you can also walk backwards. So that's possible too. Again, all different eye position or head position, even walking and tilting your head as you do this, right? Or this way. And that's a great way to integrate vestibular and visual work into your already existing workout routine. So make these part of your daily routine, wherever it fits into your routine, because that's important. If you want more guided exercises drill, check out the resource link in the description. And if you like this video, feel free to share it with any friends and loved ones that they can improve their health. And today is a fantastic day to get started working on your visual and vestibular system to integrate it, because your future self will thank you.